Hi everyone, I'm back with this collection of fabric journals. These are made using a beautiful collection of Tilda fabrics. I believe it's called Apple Blossom, and there are blue, yellow, green, and red colorways in it. And it's just beautiful, so you can see everything just really goes together just beautifully and just makes a stunning journal. So these are all Traveler's Notebook size journals, 4.5 wide by 8.25 tall. And you can see the sewing I've left frayed edges, and that is intentional. The more you use it, the shabbier it will get, and that is the look I was going for. So inside, there's a little bit of imperfect stamping to kind of carry that theme through, and there is a mix of vintage papers as well as some digital pages. Not really pages, it's digital ephemera that I have made into Traveler's Notebook size pages. At the time that I've posted this video, all of these are available in my Etsy shop with the exception of this journal. It is already spoken for, but the other 5 are available. And I'm actually going to be making another collection using this fabric just because I loved working with it so much. And they will be a different style of journal, but I will be using many of the same fabrics. And let me take you inside. So I'm going to go through this journal so that its new owner can see what it's like inside. And then I'll just do a quick flip of the other ones because inside they all have the same elements, but just different fabrics have been used. So I will make sure to show those different fabrics. So the cover has a pieced ruffle using some of the fabrics from the collection, and I have spent a lot of time making sure that for each journal the fabrics that I've used really blend well with the cover that I've chosen. They all have a fabric tie and then a fabric inside. And someone had asked me when I posted this on a Facebook group how I made the cover, and honestly it's a cardstock cover that I have adhered fabric to on both sides and then just sewn around. So really simple, and then I've just made it the same as you do a typical one signature journal. You can see the stitching on the outside there. So very simple, very easy to do. So this card, I've used rusty paper clips throughout, and this is a printable, and it's got a little tuck spot here. This was a printable receipt, and then the fabrics on this first pocket, and just a couple of little journaling items, and I've got a little fabric stamp there. Vintage paper, writing paper, little ruffle here. All the pockets inside these are fabric. Little tab. This is, I guess it's vintage. It's from my music book when I was taking piano lessons when I was much younger, and I've just ripped them out. I really like the look of that. Little coffee dyed doily. Some pink typewriter paper. This is a flip out. I've used my note stamp. And on this side, here's a little tag that I've made, and it's got a fabric pocket on that side, so they all have one of these. Another pocket here, and just some journaling spots. And this is a vintage playing card clipped to a printable receipt, and then some vintage calendar page. Another ruffle. So the trims throughout are all ruffled. I just really like that look. This is an envelope. I don't have anything in the envelope. Vintage papers. And then inside here, it's a printable from a little bindy. Then I've used my note stamp on a price tag I had, and a tag, and that's a vintage address card. Another printable here, And this was the cover, part of the cover of my last journal that I made that was a custom order. This is more printable, or rather vintage paper. This is my printable from my shop. That's part of the Turquoise Vintage Hankies collection, and I've just printed it on vellum for a pocket and just added a little tag there. And a couple of other journaling spots there. That is a scanned image of a vintage envelope that I have. So I've left lots of room, as I usually do, for journaling. That is a scanned image of a vintage receipt that I have. I'm going to do that so that I don't ruin it. In this pocket, a vintage tag and a receipt there. And then this is a scanned receipt. And in this pocket, they all have a little kind of collage sewn pocket. And I've got a few different printable linens here, and then just a really shabby kind of vintage ticket there. And on the back, a couple of more pieces, a library card, and then this is a vintage envelope that has a rusty clip here. Now I have put some matte medium over that clip so that the rust doesn't come off, and then I have adhered the top and opened it at the top so that it can be used as an envelope. So that is what the journals all look like inside. Those are the elements that are included. So let me show you the various fabrics, and I'm going to try and get through this so that you can see them all in one video here. So the fabrics in this one, I'll show you the back of this. Here's that fabric. No fabric there. So you can see they're all very similar. This is the different printable I've put in the blue journals. So you can see all the same inserts, just using different fabrics. And I should say that the tie is just tacked underneath the ruffle here. So if you purchase one of these and decide you don't want that, all you need to do is just lift it up and clip away the tie from underneath, and you can have a journal without the closure on it. And that. I love this fabric. These just turned out so beautifully. And that's the fabric on that tag. So all the same elements again. That's the fabric pocket, the envelope. So all the same vintage, or very similar vintage papers, and all the same printable papers. This is the vellum pocket that I've chosen for this particular journal. And this one has a different scanned envelope from my collection. So I did spend, as I mentioned earlier, I spent a lot of time making sure that all of the fabrics really blended well and you know, really went nicely with the cover fabrics. All right. love this. This is, yeah, it's this cover piece. And that's the fabric on that tag. And there's the pocket. And there's a vellum pocket there. And that's the collage stitched pocket. Okay. And in this one, the green. And I've used that blue. That is from Little Bindy as well. And a lot of these vintage papers, these papers that I have, are a mix from Feed the Birdies and from the Paper Basket. They both have Etsy shops, and they both are on Instagram and do little sales on Instagram as well. I love how this has turned out. And that's the end of that one. And then the final journal is here, and that's the back fabric pocket. I just was off this week, and I just decided last weekend I wanted to make a few journals from this fabric, and I had so much fun with it, just kind of piecing it all together, that I added actually a couple throughout the week. I originally was going to make 4 of these and ended up making 6. So I hope you like them. There will be more coming, and if you do decide you would like one of these and it's not available when you get to my Etsy shop, just message me through Etsy. I do have lots of fabric left, and I have more coming actually, and I am happy to make something that is similar for you if you would like it. So thank you for joining me. These are, as I mentioned, available in my shop right now when I post this, with the exception, as I mentioned, of this one. And thank you for watching. I will see you all again soon.